This is it. We've been through a lot together in the past month, haven't we? Going through all of these episodes of this show's third season together, through both the good, the bad, and the disappointing. And it all leads up to this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final review of Miraculous March 3. The two-part finale known as Battle of the Miraculous. Now, naturally, after having sat through the horrible piece of trash last time, that was the episode Ladybug, I thought, this finale is probably going to suck just as bad. No. This turned out to be a great finale. Now, I know it's a little controversial, because after I watched this finale for myself, I looked up some reviews online, and a lot of people really did not like it. And some of the reasons I can see why, but other reasons, I'm just sitting there with my eyebrows raised and very, very confused. And I'll admit, this finale has a very slow start. What do I mean by that? Well, unlike most episodes where I try to keep spoilers out of it, this one, because it is the big finale, I want to make it a big video. So, strap yourselves in, we're going to be here for a while. Not sure if we'll be here for an hour or so, but I do know that this is going to take a while to really articulate in depth. So, strap yourselves in. We're going to take a look at this two-parter together, bit by bit, and I'm going to talk about every single thing I liked, and every single thing that may or may not have bugged me a little. So, yep. Without further ado or delay, let's dive in. Starting with part 1, which is also subtitled as Heart Hunter. Let's start with the synopsis. At a celebration for their 20th anniversary, the bourgeois couple is akumatized into Heart Hunter, a two-headed Cerberus that devours love. So yep, Chloe's parents get akumatized in this one. And it's actually not as bad as you think it would be. I mean, yes, we do have to deal with the bourgeois arguing with each other, which is very, very annoying. But, one, it serves to actually move the plot forward, so it's not as annoying as usual with Chloe whenever she decides to rant and complain over nothing. And it does serve a purpose in the episode. It's not just meaningless filler. Now, Heart Hunter itself is a strange villain. It's pretty much just a giant head with two faces, and they target lovers. That's a bit of an overused, recycled plot point, but it's okay. I can roll with it. And they swallow these lovers whole, which is what makes them powerful. So for this one, I'm actually going to read off the big plot summary they have here, because I don't really know how else to fully articulate each part of the episode without jumping around wildly and consistently. So, let's look at it together. The episode begins with Marinette narrating about how everybody experiences different kinds of losses. This is going to come back really well by the end of part 2 when we find out why she's saying all of this. As Marinette leaves to deliver some macarons to her parents at the Grand Paris, she runs into Luca. Luca tells her that he's finally found a tune that matches Marinette. He plays it for her and then gives her a ride to Le Grand Paris on his bike. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like Lucanette, but I mean, it's cute. I don't mind it that much. It doesn't really anger me that much. Do I ship Marinette and Adrian like most people? Yeah, of course, absolutely. But I can't lie when I say I can't, say that I don't like the relationship they tried to tease with Luca and Marinette. Personally, I think it's a cute relationship, and even though it ultimately leads nowhere from what I've been told, it's still cute, so I'm willing to give it a little bit of a pass and not be nearly as harsh on it as some other people that I've seen review this. So, yeah. At the Grand Prix, Andre and Audrey Bourgeois, hope I'm saying that right, I'm sorry, I'm an uncultured idiot, are celebrating their 20th anniversary of their wedding. Gabriel presents them via Natalie with the Gabriel couple cloak he designed himself for them as a gift. They put it on and bicker. Marinette enters the hotel and delivers the macaroons to her parents, who are catering this celebration, which means that, yeah, the parents are unfortunately stuck having to watch them bicker. I feel bad for them, to say the very least. She passes by Adrian Kagami, Tomoe, I forget who that is, I'm sorry, and the gorilla, and promptly trips. Because, Marinette is a klutz. That's kind of a part of her character. Kagami and Adrian help her out. After the three of them deliver the macaroons, Sabine asks Marinette to take the empty trays. Tom asks her to bring them some drink umbrellas, and Adrian asks if he and Kagami can help. Marinette sets about her tasks. Adrian and Kagami have a mock fencing battle in the kitchen. Tomo realizes that the children have been gone for a long time and sends the gorilla to find them. I love it that they call the bodyguard just the gorilla. That's hilarious. He enters the kitchen, they're gone. Okay, I'm just going to fly through this part really quick because it doesn't really do a whole lot, but this is a cute little moment where Adrian, Kagami, and Marinette act a little bit rebellious and come up with these really goofy schemes to keep the gorilla from catching any of them. It's pretty funny, it's really enjoyable, and it's also the first time we get to see Marinette without her signature red hair ribbons. And, yeah, Marinette with her hair down does look pretty. I'll give her that. And then while they're on the roof, which, yeah, they get on the roof later and hide in the ball pit, Adrian starts playing piano, and then Kagami compliments Marinette for having her hair down. What else? Oh, yeah. And then, Mayora, having sabotaged Chloe's beast signal, and it leads Chloe to believe that either Ladybug did this or somebody else did it, and Ladybug wasn't there to fix the problem, which in turn makes her a bit more angry at Ladybug because, this is Chloe we're talking about after all, and they've already thrown all the character development she had in the first 2 seasons out the window. And that's one of this episode's biggest problems. Chloe. This is pretty much confirmation that any character development that she had going in the first 2 seasons is completely gone. Now she's just back being the same stuck-up, annoying, whiny brat that made some episodes so hard to watch at times. And yeah, it's frustrating because, Chloe was starting to develop into at least a somewhat decent person. Does she still have her problems? Yes, but she was showing that she was changing. And I liked it when they tried to change her personality and give her an actual character arc, which made me hate her a little bit less. But now I hate her all the more because she just backpedals. I don't know if it's because the creators got cold feet. I don't know if they got rushed for time. I don't know if they just decided it would be more interesting to drop it entirely, which, that's just straight wrong. But whatever. I don't know. Point is, Chloe's devolvement from the character development that she had going in the first 2 seasons is extremely frustrating, and it's one of this episode's biggest problems. So, Marinette, Adrian, Kagami then sneak out for ice cream with Andre, the guy we've seen before in many other episodes. And Kagami asks Marinette to pick the ice cream for them. And Andre is confused of whether or not Adrian and Marinette are the couple or Adrian and Kagami are the couple, because, he makes ice cream based on a lover's preferences. So, yep, and Marinette ends up doing the right thing in this particular situation. She picks the one for Adrian Kagami, and she ends up walking away feeling obviously down because she still has feelings for Adrian, but sees that he's happy and doesn't want to ruin that. So, yeah, it's tough on her, and I can definitely say that I do feel sorry for her in this situation, because, she is friends with Kagami, yes, but she still has that deep down desire for Adrian, and seeing him romantic with another girl obviously upsets her, even though she does try to be a good friend. So, can't be that mad at Marinette for this, because she actually does try to do the right thing. As Marinette walks back to the hotel, she breaks down crying and becomes heartbroken that now the one whom she loved has been loved by another. And then she's heading back to the hotel, and she sees Heart Hunter and transforms into Ladybug right away. And then that's when we find out that Hawkmoth and Mayora are starting to tail her, because they know that she can lead them straight to the Guardian, aka Master Fu. So, moving on. She does catch that Mayora is tailing her, thankfully, so she's able to get rid of her. But unfortunately, she was so focused on Mayora, sorry. I apologize for my mispronunciation. That Hawkmoth ends up finding the Guardian, and it goes about as you'd expect. Not good. So Marinette took the Dragon Miraculous when she went to see Master Fu, and she gives it to Kagami again. And then that means we have Ladybug, Lady Dragon, I believe her name. I got this wrong in the last one. I want to make sure I get it right. Where is it? Ryuko, that's the name. Ryuko. Okay. That's the superhero name. Thank you. So, Ladybug, Cat Noir, and Ryuko have to fight against Heart Hunter. And it's actually a pretty decent fight. But while we're having this, we have Hawkmoth throwing the Guardian around. And he ends up getting trapped, as we'll find out later. But that means Hawkmoth does get the Miracle Box. He tries to get him to tell him who Ladybug and Cat Noir really are, but Fu obviously refuses. And then that's when he uses his Turtle Miraculous and makes a shelter, like we've seen Carapace do a couple times. But it ends up getting shattered because as he's fighting off Hawkmoth, Mayora jumps in and they double team him. It's another way of saying that this special is Master Fu's last episode. He doesn't die or anything, but it is his last one. So, okay, here's the big part of this episode that's going to lead into the next one. While Ladybug, Cat Noir, and Ryuko fight Heart Hunter, Chloe becomes furious and throws her beast signal off of the roof, losing all hope that she'll ever become Queen Bee again. Much to her surprise, Hawkmoth arrives and tries to convince Chloe to join him. Chloe's reluctant at first, because he is the one who akumatized her parents. Hawkmoth asks what Ladybug has done for her, since Chloe was the one who trusted Ladybug the most as a fan. Chloe decides that Ladybug doesn't trust her to be the holder of the Be Miraculous. She joins the dark side, and finally agrees. Yeah, you know what I was talking about with the character development for Chloe being out the window? Yeah, this is why. Because she becomes a villain again. And I'm pretty sure this isn't even her first time being a villain in a two-parter, because I'm pretty sure the Queen's Battle two-parter from the previous season, she was also a villain. It just feels like recycled rehashing for the sake of recycled rehashing, and it sucks. Chloe tells Hawkmoth that she'll wear the Be Miraculous, but in case if Hawkmoth deakumatizes her parents first. Which he does. That's when Ladybug summons her lucky charm and comes up with her plan, and that's when Hawkmoth deakumatizes them, returning the two to normal. Then Ladybug and Cat Noir save them. Ladybug uses her miraculous ladybugs to restore the city. Then Ladybug, Cat Noir, and Ryuko are all confused when Heart Hunter becomes deakumatized by itself. First time it's happened in the show, right in front of them. Hawkmoth akumatizes Queen Bee into Miracle Queen. Of course, Chloe's a big final villain, of course. While this is happening, Kagami gives Ladybug back the Miraculous. When she leaves, she transforms back into Marinette and goes to find Fu to give him the Miraculous, but to her shock, he's gone. She becomes worried, but Tiki tells her not to worry because Fu is very wise, he can be anywhere. Meanwhile, Adrien finds Kagami and asks what happened. Kagami says that Ladybug took her away because the villain was going after people who were in love, and that's when the two of them kiss. And the entire fan base erupts in anger as a result. I've already been told about how much people hate this relationship, but in the context of the episode and the season, it's not that bad. Do I hate seeing Marinette hurt? Yes, of course, absolutely, but I just don't hate this couple the same way so many other people do. I mean, I already said I do like Lucanette, even though it's not my personal ship. So honestly, it's kind of mixed for me. I don't mind it, but I'm not a huge fan of it. And I don't have the Titanic hate for it that so many other people do. Back in distraught, Marinette leaves the park. Luca finds her and asks if she's okay. Marinette initially tries to say no, that she's not. Well, no, that she is okay. And then she ends up breaking down, crying, explaining that she's tired of putting up a front, and Luca comforts her. Which is a sad but also kind of cute way to end the episode. So that's the first part. Unfortunately, it is a bit basic, and it does follow the template, but it also has a ramped up tension. It does have good fight scenes, and I do like the Luca and Marinette stuff. And I already praised the fun little segment of them, of Marinette, Kagami, and Adrien outsmarting the gorilla. Like, that is a fun little sequence in the episode. Probably my favorite part of the episode, to be honest with you. But Chloe being a villain again is extremely overdone. The finding of Master Fu feels extremely rushed. And it's now going to lead into a part 2 with Chloe as the villain again. For the third time. I don't know, man. Like, it's not bad, but it's not a great start to this 2-parter. Because, again, it feels like it's just running from the basic formula with just a few little minor changes. So, if I had to give both of these parts their own final verdict, I would give part 1 a 7 out of 10. It's a very good start to this finale, but it has a lot of problems. So, yep, that's my thoughts on part 1. Now let's move on to part 2. Because this is legit great. This is a great way to cap off the storyline that's been going for all 3 of these seasons. And it does feel pretty conclusive while also leaving some things wide open. So, there's a lot to talk about with part 2, so let's talk about it together, step by step. The episode is, of course, titled Miracle Queen, because, once again, Chloe's the villain. I've ranted on that enough, we're just going to keep moving. Here's the synopsis. Hawkmoth changes Chloe into Miracle Queen and she conquers Paris, forcing miraculous wearers to reveal themselves, but Ladybug and Cat Noir escape. Meaning that Ladybug and Cat Noir have to literally fight all the other miraculous heroes we've met throughout these 3 seasons. And I think that's a really cool concept, But the problem is going to arise with the fact that the actual battle itself rushed. Oh, we'll get to that when we get to that. Let's break it down step by step. So, the episode once again starts with Marinette providing narration, just like last time. After completing her transformation, Hawkmoth gives Miracle Queen the Miracle Box and tells her to use the powers wisely. She teleports the two of them and her army of wasps to the Trocadero. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. She orders her creations to sting every Parisian to make them her servant. So yes, we have her using wasps again to take control of people again. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that the same thing that happened in Season 2 with Queen's Battle? Like, please, correct me if I'm wrong there, but I feel like in Queen's Battle we had this same starting setup. I don't know. I haven't been able to rewatch these two seasons due to a lack of time, so please apologies if I'm making any inconsistencies or any mistakes. So Lucas still comforting Marinette as both teens see the giant swarm of wasps. Lucas sacrifices himself, leaving him to get stung, becoming brainwashed. And Marinette uses her power-up to become Aquabug, jumping into the sea to avoid being stung. Miracle Queen's wasps dislike water. Adrien and Kagami are about to kiss, but Adrien backs out, stating that he isn't ready. Kagami asks him when he will be ready. Adrien doesn't give her a look, and upset Kagami expresses how much it is hurtful. When the wasps attack, Adrien defensively hugs Kagami, who's confused, but upon seeing the swarm of wasps, she frantically pushes Adrien out of the way and gets brainwashed instead. So the two crushes of our two main characters are both getting brainwashed in the same few seconds. That's immediately how you ramp up your tension. So, then Adrien becomes Aqua Noir and flees into the sea. Miracle Queen then orders all the Miraculous holders to reveal themselves, which causes Kim, Max, Alya, Nino, Kagami, and Luca to come forth. She mocks Ladybug's choice of these people, but states that Luca's cute after adding that he gets his clothes from a dumpster. Yeah, have I mentioned that in this episode I just want to smack Chloe? Like, Chloe is one of those characters that just really gets under my skin. She opens the miracle box and orders the heroes to arm themselves, and they all turn into these evil Miraculous holders, aside from Nino, because the Turtle Miraculous is still in Master Fu's possession, and Kagami, who, well, Ladybug still has the Dragon Miraculous. She orders the others to transform, stating that together they're stronger than Ladybug and Cat Noir, and that they are now Miracle Queen's Royal Guard. She vows to get hold of the Miraculouses for Hawkmoth, as the villainess decides to get her revenge with Ladybug and Cat Noir for not choosing her. In other words, she's just being, for lack of a better term, and excuse my language here, a salty bitch. So, nearby, Mayora is watching Jade Turtle, who's still protected by his shelter, but is being attacked by a Senti monster. So, Hawkmoth walks over and tells them that today's the day they will finish the Guardian off. Mayora still falls ill again, as we would probably expect by now. So, and then Mayora once again assures him that she wants to be here for this, even at the sake of her own health. So, moving on. So, Mayora then creates a muck and sends her to Hawkmoth's cane, causing Hawkmoth to get a muckized. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Hawkmoth's emotions and determination create the Senti monster that could break shelter. Then Aquabug and Aqua Noir rendezvous in the water. Cat Noir is shocked that Ladybug didn't return the Dragon Miraculous. They realize that Hawkmoth and Mayora have Fu captive. Ladybug blames herself for not transforming back when she was about to return the Miraculous to Fu. Then Aqua Noir assures her that they'll save Master Fu from the Senti monster. Then Aquabug hugs Cat Noir and tearfully thanks him for always being with her, which causes Aqua Noir to hug her back, and then they make their plan to defeat Miracle Queen once and for all. So, I want to talk a little bit about this scene. Not only is it one of the only scenes we see Marinette legit break down, which, I mean, I never thought I would see that out of her, but you also feel the emotion in the vocal performance here. Christina V, like, she's so good in this particular part of the episode. She does a great job conveying the emotion, the stress, and just the breakdown of Ladybug's emotions as she realizes that all of this is happening because of one simple mistake that she made. Again, kind of calling back to Cat Blanc, where she made one mistake and everything went to hell. So, seriously, Christina V does such a great job in this episode, and she's such a good voice actress in general. I already pointed out how she's also Ferocica in Hell of a Boss, and she's just as great there as she is here. But in this one particular part, she shows how talented of a voice actress she really is. So, huge props to her. She does an amazing job in this particular part of the episode, and you feel the emotion in the dialogue in every word that she says. And also, again, good on Cat Noir for comforting her and helping her focus, like a good teammate should. So then, that's when they confront Miracle Queen and her akumatized evil guard of Miraculous holders, and we get another unification in this episode. Yep. This is when we get to see the Ladybug Miraculous and the Dragon Miraculous unified to create Dragon Bug. And Dragon Bug is an awesome friggin' design. Like, unfortunately, I don't have a picture to show you of it, but trust me, it is an awesome design. Nowhere near as amazing as Lady Noir. Don't even try to misquote me there. But just in terms of the overall design, the way they mix the two costumes together, looks really good here. So, yep, it is always cool to see more unifications and combinations of different Miraculous. So the Miracle Queen tells the brainwashed superheroes to summon their superpowers shortly after Cat Noir and Dragon Bug arrive, blocking out her and the Wasps. The heroes start to fight their brainwashed allies, and Cat Noir eventually defeats Viperion and grabs Lucas Miraculous, and Cat Noir fuses with Sass and the Cat Miraculous to become Snake Noir, using his second chance to save Dragon Bug in many different situations, at least 4 times. And yeah, like I said, another unification in this episode, which definitely puts it up higher on the enjoyability scale. As Snake Noir apprehends King Monkey, he asks Dragon Bug to open the shield. She opens it, and Snake Noir kicks King Monkey's weapon, which Miracle Queen catches. She then laughs and calls Snake Noir's attack pathetic, and then she keeps insulting Snake Noir, just as he throws the frog toy that was called under King Monkey's power in Miracle Queen's face, resulting in her akumatized object turning into a disco ball, and her wasps turning into confetti. Seeing their chance to defeat Miracle Queen, Dragon Bug uses her yo-yo to pull her towards them, and Snake Noir summons his Cataclysm and destroys the akumatized object, releasing the Akuma, causing the brainwashed heroes to stand as the heroes transform back to their original egos, as they release Long and Sass. Miracle Queen gets de-akumatized. Cat Noir teases Hawkmoth for failing once again, but Hawkmoth has none of it and sends another Akuma after Queen Bee, who excitedly grabs for it, only to be stopped by Ladybug, who captures the Akuma again, saying that Hawkmoth is their enemy and can't get to the Miracle Box. Queen Bee furiously reveals that she's no longer a fan of Ladybug due to her constant refusal to give her the Bee Miraculous. She pulls out the remaining Miraculous and starts putting all of them on herself, with Ladybug frantically begging Queen Bee not to do it. But Queen Bee doesn't want to listen, because she's freaking Chloe, and declares herself the most ultimate Miraculous holder. Yes, that is literally the exact line that she says. The most ultimate Miraculous holder. I think the writer might have fallen asleep on his keyboard on that one. Seeing that he finally won in this fight, Hawkmoth erupts in laughter and joy, seeing that he doesn't have to do anything, and congratulates Chloe for joining the dark side. When Chloe demands that the Kwamis transform her, the Kwamis ignore her, saying that Queen Bee doesn't know their names or their right transform phrases, and refuse to transform her. The heroes become shocked and betrayed by Queen Bee. In other words, she just got exposed. And I'm sorry if this makes me sound like a sick asshole, but it is so cathartic to see Chloe in misery. Again, I'm sorry if that makes me sound like a psychopath, but it's the truth. Seeing Queen Bee, seeing Chloe, seeing this character that I have despised ever since I started watching this show, in misery, and seeing how much she ultimately fails herself is so cathartic. Hawkmoth then taunts Ladybug by saying that he's already won, while the heroine laments that if she hadn't forgotten to transform back to see Master Fu, Hawkmoth would have never taken him hostage. She then cries to Cat Noir she's the worst Ladybug that ever existed. Okay, let's get this problem out of the way. Having her have a second breakdown right towards the end of the episode is really stupid. I don't know if they were rushed for time or if they just wanted to recycle the same old thing they literally just did at the beginning of the freaking episode, but yeah, the second breakdown does not work as well as the first one. And that's when Fu reassures her that she's the best Miraculous holder he has ever met, and then relinquishes his position as guardian to Ladybug, to the Kwamis and Hawkmoth's horror. Hawkmoth and Mayora leave in disappointment on the Senti monster. While Cat Noir goes after them, Ladybug takes the Miracle Box and becomes disappointed that Chloe betrayed the team. She takes her Miraculous away from her permanently, and suspends her from being in the French Miraculous superhero team for good as a punishment for being a traitor. Good. Serves her right. Chloe furiously renounces herself being a fan or friend of Ladybug, and she leaves in a huff. After she leaves, thank goodness. I don't think my eardrums could have taken any more of her endless complaining. Cat Noir comes and tells that he couldn't catch up to the bad guys. The heroes check on Master Fu, only to find out he's still unconscious. Meanwhile, Gabriel carries Natalie to the car, apologizes for using the last of her strength for nothing. However, Natalie tells Gabriel that she stole the Guardian's tablet and that the Peacock Miraculous can still be fixed, which causes him to smile, and leaves one storyline open for Season 4. Master Fu recovers, but cannot remember who Ladybug or Cat Noir are. Waves sadly reveals that the memories of the Guardians get erased when they pass down the Miracle Box to protect the secret identities of the Miraculous holders. Ladybug tries using her Miraculous Ladybug to repair everything, but it doesn't repair Fu's memory, leaving the two devastated. The old men then give the young superheroine his keyring at the train station, and she smiles in return. In the aftermath, Chloe enters Le Grand Paris and angrily tells her parents that she wants to go to New York, but her parents have decided not to go, learning that they have made mistakes as long as they have to fix it, and they passionately kiss, leaving Chloe shocked and disgusted. Yeah, Chloe, serves you right. Marinette finds and opens the locker the key goes to. She finds his old phonograph, along with a picture of Marianne, and a letter for her, which turns out to be the opening narration from the episode and the one that preceded it. In other words, Fu had a feeling that this was going to happen, so he made this big final speech to help give her one last little lesson of guidance before he leaves her to do her own thing. Like I said, this is Master Fu's last episode, at least to how this feels so conclusive. If I end up being wrong, then that's a yikes, but I'm pretty sure this is Master Fu's last episode in the actual Miraculous show. I don't doubt that he'll probably show up again in like flashbacks or maybe as illusions or something, but character-wise, this is the end for the character. So, And I think he got a really nice, dignified send-off. So, that's a plus for the episode. Marinette then brings Fu to the train station. Marianne eagerly steps out of the train to greet Fu. When Fu sees her, he declares that while he has just met her, it's as if his heart has known her forever. Marianne tells Fu to always trust his heart. Marinette then gives Fu a box of macarons for the journey. Fu then thanks her, tells her he'll never forget her, and boards the train with Marianne as both of the elderly people leave Paris together. And Marinette walks away with tears in her eyes because she literally just said goodbye to her master. To her master, to one of her friends. As now she is now the sole guardian of the Miraculous. Which is also why the Miracle Box turns into that giant ladybug spear that you've seen so much of the marketing for 4 and 5. Marinette and Adrian each get some ice cream from Andre. They walk down the steps of the footbridge to their friends sitting nearby and wave goodbye to each other. Adrian sits with Kagami, and Marinette, who looks sad seeing Adrian and Kagami together, sits with Luca, asking to hear his song. Luca plays the song. It says sing the song, but he doesn't actually sing. He just plays it. He plays the song for Marinette, and it causes her to smile. Before Gabriel fixes the Peacock Miraculous, Mayora creates Optigami to spy on Ladybug. Optigami flies away to possess multiple objects to spy on the Miraculous wearers off-screen. A cutscene shows Gabriel in his lair holding up the newly fixed Peacock Miraculous as the episode ends. Gabriel has fixed the Peacock Miraculous, foreshadowing the scene from Truth. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Season 3 of Miraculous Ladybug. I had my problems with this 2-part finale, that's for sure, but this second part really picked up where the first part was lacking. Yes, I hate that they made Chloe a villain again, and I absolutely hate how they just threw away any character development that she had going in the previous 2 seasons. That part's infuriating. And yes, the actual fight with the Miraculous holders against Dragonbug and Cat Noir was extremely rushed and moved by way too fast. But it has a really nice ending. It still leaves a lot of plot threads open for Season 4, while also leaving some things perfectly close. Like, again, Master Fu's arc, as he leaves Paris for good, which means that he's no longer the Guardian. And now it's up to Marinette to try and continue in his place while still also being a miraculous hero. Which means hopefully in Seasons 4 and 5, the tension's going to keep going higher and higher. Which I'm all for, because the higher the stakes, the more likely it is to be a legitimately great episode that changes the series in one way or another. And while this isn't the end of the entire show, because there is still 2 more seasons, and a Season 6 is confirmed to be on the way, it does feel like the closing of a chapter. Because from here, everything changes. At least so I've been told by many other Miraculous fans. So, that's going to bring me to my final verdict for Part 2. Part 2 is an 8 out of 10. Easy 8 out of 10 for Part 2. It is a great bookend to the first 3 seasons of the show, while also leaving plenty of things open for the next season to continue. Now, my final verdict for the overall double-parter. It is definitely among the weaker double-parters I've seen out of this show. Like, let me look here. Queen's Battle, I gave an 18. That one was great. Heroes Day was damn near perfect. Like, that one was a 19 out of 20. It was so close to being perfect. And then Origins was amazing. So this one definitely feels, in comparison to those, a pretty big step back. And it is the weakest of the season finales I've seen so far. But that does not make it bad. That just makes it conflicted and a little bit frustrating. But overall, it is still a great ending to Season 3, and it does feel like a nice bookend to these first 3 seasons of the show. Yes, it has its problems. Yes, the first part has a really slow start. But I think it's more than worth watching. And honestly, while it's not going to end on the biggest of bangs for this show, and it's not the biggest bang we've ever ended on with this marathon ever since I started 2 years ago, but it is still a bang nevertheless, and it does leave me curious to see how Season 4 is going to continue. I'm not sure if I'll wait until next year to actually watch it before reviewing it, but whenever I do watch Season 4, I will be watching with bated breath, because this has been, in my opinion, the best season of the show. Because not only is it wasn't consistently great pretty much all throughout, but rarely did it ever even drop below average. Like, Ladybug was the one bad episode in this season. And then, yeah, we had 2 average ones and a couple of decent ones, but when this season of this show was firing on all cylinders, it delivered some of the best episodes of the entire series. Especially, again, Cat Blanc, which is my favorite episode of the entire show, and probably one of the darkest episodes I've seen in any cartoon. So, not an incredible finale for Season 3, but it's still a very entertaining and enjoyable finale that leaves many things open for Season 4 to continue onward. So, my final verdict for Battle of the Miraculous as a full 2-part season finale is going to be a 15 out of 20. It still puts it into the great range, but it does have some problems with the slow start, the rushed big final battle, Chloe becoming absolutely insufferable once again, and a few parts of the episode feeling like they needed more time to really emphasize the stakes of the episode. But outside of that, this is still a great finale to, in my opinion, the best season I've seen out of this show so far. From what I've heard, that is a hot take because a lot of people really do not like Season 3, but me personally, I loved this season. It had its fair share of problems, but when this show was good, it was really damn good. So, will Season 4 and 5 top it? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But until then, this is our final au revoir to Miraculous for the year. Because I haven't heard of anything coming out this year, and even if it does come out this year, more than likely, it's going to mainly be a French version, and I still need to even catch up to understand the context of any of it. So, as far as I know, with the exception of maybe the Rise of the Sphinx game, if I can maybe get my hands on it. Well, but you get my point. This is our final goodbye to Miraculous for 2024. Oh, I almost forgot. My top 10 of the season. There you go. There's my top 10 of the season. Yes, this finale did make the top 10. And yes, I do highly recommend this season. Skip over the crappy ones that I crapped on in my previous reviews, and then just watch the rest of it, because when this show was firing on all cylinders, when everything was working correctly and everyone threw their absolute all into it, this was an incredibly enjoyable, highly entertaining watch. And it gives me pretty high expectations for Season 4. So, yep. That's all I've got. So thank you guys so much for watching all of these reviews. Thank you for coming on this journey with me, and just thank you for your continued support and feedback and your likes and your subscriptions. Just thank you for your support. It means the world to me, and it keeps me going, and it drives me to keep doing what I love, which is continuously reviewing all this stuff for you. and sharing my thoughts. So, seriously, huge thank you to all of you. And until we meet again, au revoir, Miraculous. And thank you for delivering such an amazing season of animation that I will not be forgetting anytime soon. So, one more for the road, guys. Thanks for watching. Bug out.